All right. Hey, everybody. So welcome back to our social media class. This is week 3, and we are covering expanding your network and engagement. And I know that kind of seems like it's 2 topics, but they kind of blend into each other, honestly. So I didn't really see where I couldn't really go into one without going into the other or leaving stuff out. So we're just going to blend them together, and they're going to be one class this week. So expanding your network and engagement. I know when a lot of people get started, it's very easy to compare yourself to, my gosh, I only have 340 friends on Facebook and she's got 2075. So I don't know, of course she's doing really well. She's got all these friends on Facebook. Or you're looking at followers on Instagram, things like that. So yes, obviously they're reaching a broader audience, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in that audience is seeing everything that they're doing, right? We talked about the algorithm. So not everybody's seeing what they're putting out there. So you could be showing just as many people your stuff with an audience of 300 and something as you are with someone with an audience of 4,000. So don't compare yourself as far as the number game goes. However, it is a number game, right? So network marketing is about how many people can you network with? How many people can we talk to, right? We're not expecting our immediate friends and family to uphold our business and, take us all the way to the top of our company and help us live a life of residual income. We don't want that. We don't want to have to, be bugging our friends and our family. Like, that's not the goal here. And I know, like, a lot of times network marketing, that can be actually a negative, is that people think that you're just out there trying to get your friends and family to just buy stuff and do, whatever. And we don't want to be those people. We want to be people that are genuinely looking for people that need our products or need the financial help in their lives. So think about what you're going to be wanting to do when you're expanding your network is you're going to want to be looking for basically your lifeguard. Okay. Jen, we have talked about this in our corporate training. You're basically a lifeguard and you're looking around for people that are drowning. Okay. You're looking for people that are struggling or whatever. They need help in their finances. They need help in their health. So when you are going through your Facebook and you're going through your Instagram, I don't recommend scrolling as part of your regular IPA, but there are times obviously where we're scrolling, whatever. If you see somebody that's talking about a struggle in their finances, in their time, in their product or their health or whatever, like if you see those things, reach out to those people, because obviously they need help, they're struggling. So those are good people to reach out to. And again, we're not going to sit here and wonder if they're struggling, wonder if they're drowning. We're not gonna be like, hey, do you think you might be drowning? Because I can help. I don't want to offend you or anything, but I might have something that can help. What kind of life raft would you want? Would you want, we don't do that, right? If someone's drowning, we jump in and save them with what we have available, let them know what we have. And we're not going to offend people by just offering what we have. So expanding your network even goes beyond, it's not even just your Facebook network. It's just even expanding your warm market. Okay. So you can use the people that are already on your Facebook and just be looking for those things. Start commenting on people's statuses and just talking to them and having genuine engagement with them. Okay. So a lot of people would probably spank me for this, but I would actually encourage you that if your Facebook feed is full of people just in your network, in your company, and on your team, obviously keep those people out there. You want to see what they're doing and keep in touch with them. But if there's a ton of people from sideline teams and whatnot that's on your Facebook page, I would slowly start unfollowing some of those, because your goal isn't to just see a bunch of people who are already on Plexus products, right? Your goal is to find people who are not on products, who are struggling in their health and who need what you've got. You don't want to just constantly be seeing Plexus people all day long in your feed. So slowly start unfollowing some of those, not unfriending them. You can still, go to their profiles and boost their posts and help them, or, check them out or whatever, see what they're doing. Just unfollow them. If you're not sure how to do this, let me know and I can, or ask your sponsor. I'm sure they know, like somebody can help you with the unfollowing process. So unfollowing people that are already on products is going to be your first thing. And then your feed's going to start filling with people. You're like, I totally forgot they were even on my Facebook. And then you can start kind of commenting on their stuff. If you see somebody that you're like, oh, I haven't heard from them in a while, click on their profile, see what they're up to, see what they're doing, see if it's something that they can benefit from. This is something that it goes way far beyond just the people that you know. And so that's why when people come into this and they're like, I mean, I don't really know a lot of people and everyone I know is broke. Well, okay. There's a lot of things that we can do to expand your network and move forward. Okay. There are 7 billion people in this world, and only 300,000 have triplexes before, or whatever the number is. Like there are so many people in this world that you can expand beyond just your regular warm market. So start talking to people that are already on your Facebook. And then when you're expanding your network, so basically you're going to go through people you may know. People like if you go to different companies and different industries or whatever, they're all going to have a different idea of what expanding your network looks like. I would say that I feel like the most authentic and true and real way that I have found, that I've been trained to do, that I feel like is the least sleazy, if I can say that, is going through people you may know and finding where we have quite a few mutual friends. But it looks like somebody that I want to do this with. It looks like somebody that I want to do. I mean, these are people that if they join your team and they end up doing the business, you got to sit on the beaches of Hawaii with these people, right? So be picky about the people that you're adding as well, too. I went through a phase, honestly, at the very beginning where I literally just started adding people like a crazy person. And I had the most crazy people on my on my face that I could not keep up with. And I mean, I tried recruiting some of those people and I was like, these are not my people, and it's okay to say that. It's okay to say, these are not my people. There's so many people that I can help. I'm not going to waste my time trying to drag some of these people that I can already tell are not my people. And there's not much I'm going to be able to do, beyond maybe an order. So be picky about the people that you're adding to your page. Because also, keep in mind that as you're going to be scrolling, these are going to be the people that are filling your mind. So for me, I like to keep my emotional and my mental health happy by adding people that I think are going to bring some positivity to my page as well. So if you're just adding a bunch of like negative, down, whatever people, then I mean, now your workspace, your store is full of negativity, and like it's going to actually ruin your headspace. So be picky about the people that you're adding onto your face and onto your face. Be picky about the people you're adding on your face, on your Facebook. And, because like I said, it's your store. You're bringing people into your store, and you want people that are going to bring light and encouragement and positivity into your store. And if they are eventually going to be people that stick around in your store, maybe start working alongside you in your store, you're going to want those people to be people of integrity and character and bring a good culture along with them as well. So please be picky about the people that you are adding. Also, we're not just about to add any creeps onto, onto any creeps onto our page as well. Yeah, Faceagram. We had that one a couple weeks ago. That was good. I'm the queen of just blending my words together. It makes it really funny and fun sometimes. So anyways, so as you are adding people onto your newsfeed, on whether you're following people on Instagram, adding them onto Facebook, whatever, start commenting on their stuff. There is actually a feature in Facebook that I found out that long ago. If you go into your friends, you can actually click recent, and it'll show you all your newest friends. Okay. And you can go in there right now and start making a list of all of those people that are your newest friends. And then as people are accepting your friend requests or you're accepting theirs or whatnot, start adding them to your list of potentials. And then each day, part of your workday should be going in and just genuinely commenting on those people's statuses, seeing what they're up to, seeing what they're doing. With engagement is more than just so cute, exclamation mark. Okay. It's way more than that. Engagement is actually trying to develop a two-way conversation so that you're developing a relationship to where they trust you. So instead of just commenting, so cute, say, oh my gosh, your baby is so cute. How old is she? Okay, easy question. Keep it simple. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you worked there. How long have you been working there? Easy. Wow, you just graduated. What did you study? Those are easy questions that you can ask that are non-invasive, that are going to get people asking, talking back, responding to you. And then if they don't ask you a question, then if you want to keep the conversation going, you can ask more questions. Or You can say something like, if you want to go quickly with these people, you can do something like, what did you study? Oh, blah, 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 nutrition. Oh my gosh, I have a couple questions about nutrition I want to ask you. Let me message you really quick. And then you can jump into their messages. Now, obviously that's an easy one because they said they study nutrition, but I'm just saying, like, there's ways that you can say, oh, like, let's talk more about that. I just messaged you, and then you can actually get into their messages really quickly using that type of method. Or just keep engaging in that conversation as much as possible. And then the more that not that conversation, just in conversation with them, I should say. So as they're posting more on Facebook, you're commenting more on their stuff, you're asking questions, you're staying committed to that friendship and that relationship. And then they're going to be seeing more of your stuff. Okay. They're going to develop that trust. I've had this a lot where I've added people that I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's way out of my league, but whatever. I'm still going to comment on her stuff. And you know what? They've joined my team, because after a while we develop a trust and we develop a friendship, and I'm supporting her, she's supporting me, and we eventually, have a mutual trust, and she joins my team. So it happens all the time. I have more strangers on my team at this point than I do friends or family. And it's fun, y'all. You're like creating community. And I'm sorry, but I was a mama that craved community and friendships. And I mean, I had my couple besties that I loved, but there's just something about having like a whole network of people that you just get to love on and do life with and are celebrating you, right? So the more that you are commenting on their stuff and the more that they are commenting back, Facebook says, oh, they have a relationship. I'm going to make sure that we show them each other's stuff. So they're going to start seeing more of your stuff as you go. And then when you are posting and you are considering what you're going to be posting for that day, think about some of the things that you're seeing on their Facebook, right? So if you've just recently added somebody who their husband, he deals with, he deals with chronic back pain or something like that. This is a good opportunity for you to bring up a post about ease, right? This is a good opportunity for you to start posting about inflammation and targeting the gut health and things like that. So, this is a good opportunity for you to talk to that person without just talking to that person, right? So it's okay to do that. And honestly, I think it's going to help you to start to see what people are dealing with in your network. What are they dealing with? Are they dealing with wondering how much a CEO, donated to a charity? No, they're not dealing with that. But what they are dealing with, right, is everyday back pain, or they're dealing with migraines, or they're struggling with, food insensitivities, or their skin, they need skincare needs, things like that. So the more that you can see and you're watching what your network is interested in, what they need, the more you can start gearing your posts toward a specific couple of people. And then I actually think it's okay to then go back and be like, hey, Whitney, I just thought of you. Actually, I just put a post up about chronic back pain, and I was thinking about your husband, who you just said a few days ago had chronic back pain. Anyway, so I thought of you and wanted to reach out. Did you get a chance to see that post? It's okay to do that, y'all. It's okay. And if she's like, no, I haven't seen it. Oh, let me go tag you in it really quick, and then go and tag her in your post, Whitney, and don't just tag her. Okay. Remove the idea of just doing plain tags. Start adding some verbiage in with your tags, okay? Don't just tag people. Tag, Whitney, this is the post I was telling you about. I think this would be really beneficial for your husband. And then go back to that message. All right, Whitney, I just tagged you in that post. Do you see it? Ask her, do you see it? Yep, I see it. Awesome. And then you can start that conversation right there. So these are some easy ways that you can start engaging with your network quickly and start engaging. Because I know a lot of times we get stuck in well, I just expanded my network, but now I'm in the relationship building, process. And that takes a while. And it does take a while. And sometimes you will have people that it just takes a while, but there are ways that you can get the ball rolling and get engagement and conversation started quickly. So then you're posting based on that. Now let's talk about you posting. Okay. So when you are posting, getting engagement on your post is important. Okay. You have to get engagement on that post pretty much right away for Facebook to show it to people. Now, here's the thing. Think of your Facebook posting. My girl Kristen likes to say this to her people. It always cracks me up. Think of it as like market research, right? You're throwing stuff out there to see what they're interested in. If it's something that they did not see, they're not interested in it, whatever, that's fine. try again tomorrow. Okay. It's not a bad post. It's not a dead post or anything like that. You'll never see me actually delete a post for the most part, because for me, I don't know who saw it and didn't comment or didn't like it or whatever, and might go back to it later for reference. I'm never one to delete a post because I don't think it didn't work. Okay. I know Christine told us a couple days ago that she had someone from her jazzercise just pop in. They never commented, never liked or anything, one of the posts, and she got 2 people that were interested in something off that one post. Okay. So don't delete something or think that a post is a flop just because it didn't get engagements. People are going to see it. It's not going to show it to nobody, but it will go to more people the more engagement you get on it right away. So at Super Saturday, if you guys just watched it this past weekend, Shailene talked about what they'll do is they will show it to your first, they'll show it to like your homies, right? They're going to show it to your mom, who you can always count on to comment on your stuff. They're going to show it to your best friend. They're going to show it to your sister. They're going to show it to the people that always are commenting on your stuff because they love you. And if they are interested and they're always commenting on it, they'll go, great, let's send it out to that second tier. They'll send it out to your cousins and your acquaintances and the people that you do girls' night with and the people that you might do soccer with or whatever. And they'll send it out to those people. And then if those people are engaged in it, then they'll go, okay, well, let's send it out to a few more people. It's like friends of friends, and let's send it out to them. This is Facebook and Instagram. Send it out to like friends of friends and see what we can get. And then you start to get more engagement on that. And then that's where your people are seeing a lot of stuff. What they'll do is if you get a lot of engagement in this first tier, and then the second tier, you only get like 1 or 2 people, that's where usually your post ends. Okay. Which is okay, because you don't know who was in that first or second tier that saw it, that something triggered in them, and they're going to go back and refer to that post later, or they want to reach out to you now because they're interested in what you had to say. It's okay if something doesn't get engagement right away. Your own comments on it don't count as engagement. Okay. So adding, so even though it'll say 28 comments, if 14 of them are yours, it's 14 comments. Okay. So make sure like your own comments on it will not count for actual engagement. And it's not going to help boost anything. So I would honestly, if you're going to add additional comments or information, I would almost save that for another post. And then, because it's okay to post about the same thing, right? In the same couple weeks or whatever. You can take the same thoughts from the same idea and post them like, oh my gosh, going back to the post that I mentioned last week, here's something that I was thinking, and you can add to that. And there's another post. First of all, hello creativity, because we have a hard time. Sometimes you get post block and you can't think of what to post. And then second of all, it helps people to go back to that post that you're originally talking about. And some people might be seeing this one that didn't see this one. So adding your own stuff to your post is great, but I would just keep it basic, responding to people that are in your post. So if somebody says something on your post that strikes an idea, sure, you can comment on that, but not just adding your own, huge posts along with that. Does that make sense? So you want to get that engagement right away. We do have that post bumpers chat that you can jump into, and you can say, my post is up, and then you can get some quick engagement on it. Sometimes people are in it right away and they can boost your post right away. Sometimes they just aren't. People, if you post it super early in the morning or late at night or at a time when people are at work, a lot of times you're just not going to get a lot of boosts. Don't delete it. Just let it go. People will see it. Try again tomorrow. Okay. It's okay. We're not going to win them every single day. I will say this. I have had posts that I have poured my heart and soul into, and I was so vulnerable, and I knew for a fact that I wanted specific people to see this, and it's gotten 0 likes or comments. I have pulled that just to repost it at a different time later that day or something, because I do want people to see it, because I have poured my heart and soul into it. But as a general rule, don't just delete a post really quick and whatever, just because it's not getting engagement. That's okay. Just leave it alone. When you do post, go into your potentials before you post, comment on all of your potential stuff and ask those questions, and then do your post, and then spend some time afterward doing some more commenting on people's stuff. That shows that you're relevant, that your Facebook says, oh, they're on, these people are on, they're engaging with each other. I'm going to push their post right to these people right away. And so more people are going to see your stuff if you are engaged with your network before and after you post. Please do not post and pray. Okay. Post and pray is basically like, well, I threw this post up and I just praying that I get a couple joints from it, but I got to go and go for a run. Like that's not how this works. If you put up a post, be prepared for the next, give it at least the next 15, 20 minutes, that as comments are coming in, that you can comment right back on those things and keep it boosting. Okay. So as you are commenting and boosting comments, that also will boost your post. So make sure that you are commenting on other people's comments as well. Again, adding your own comments won't boost it, but commenting on their comments, because now you're in a relationship with somebody else on Facebook, will boost your post. Not my rules. I wish they were different, but they're not my rules. It's just the algorithm. The other thing you want to do is you want to get into their inbox. Okay, this is the goal. So when you are in engagement with people, make it a goal to get into their inbox, because I think a lot of times we don't know how to switch the conversation from, okay, I'm like hanging out on Facebook with them, I don't really know how to message them about Plexus, right? But it's easy to do that if you're already in a conversation with them. Okay. So if people are in your store, right, and they're just looking around or whatever, but you haven't gone and engaged in conversation, or they haven't even come up to the register yet, or whatever, you're not going to make a sale that way. If they're just in your store, then they leave. That's different. You have to pull them in to get them up to your register, get talking to them about your products, whatever. Depending on what kind of store you have. But this is what you need to do, is you have to get into their inbox. Okay. You want to start that conversation in an authentic and private way. Honestly, a lot of people are not going to go into their health goals and their pain points and where they're struggling in their life on their Facebook page. Some do, but they're not going to do it necessarily in public. So here's a few ways that you can get into their inbox right away. One, we already talked about it, is as you're talking to them in conversations on their posts. Oh, I had a couple questions about that. Let me message you, and message them. Okay. When you jump into that messenger chat with them, talk about them first. Don't just start immediately asking questions and talking about yourself. People love to talk about themselves. Let them talk about themselves. Okay. Let them do it. You keep your stuff short and simple. You ask a few questions. You can add an idea here or there, because you don't want to seem cold either, but let them talk about themselves, because this is also where you're going to find their pain points and their struggles. Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you were a nurse. How long have you been doing that? What's your favorite part about that? What do you think is like the most challenging part? Yeah, I see where it would take a lot of time and you don't get to pick your babies up from school. And you can start kind of going into those conversations as well. So ask a lot of questions, let them talk about themselves. So getting into their inbox from conversations is one way. Another way, we talked about it last week, is getting into groups. And as you're adding those people on Facebook in those groups that you're jumping into, you're putting up a post, you're adding value, you're adding those people on Facebook, right? As people are commenting, you're adding them on Facebook, but then you're also jumping into messages with them. So if it's about gardening, they're asking questions about gardening, let me message you some things that I've tried in the past, and then you can get into their inbox that way. Now you guys are in a conversation together. Okay. And it's easier to transition into products and into what their pain points are and their struggles if you're in their inbox. Okay. The next thing is stories. Your stories are important, y'all. This is where you get a lot of engagement and conversation. If you are not engaged in stories, start doing it this week. Okay. That's actually going to be your homework for this week. So your homework for this week is to be engaged in your stories and start commenting on people's stories. If people are like, which outfit do you like better? Okay. Just vote on their little poll. They put up a poll, just vote on their poll. I love the white one. You look fabulous in the white one, whatever, and then say something. Don't just vote, but say something. Like I just said, like, oh, the white one is my favorite. You look absolutely stunning in that white outfit. Where are you shopping today? Start asking those questions. Okay. You can jump in that way. The other way is to, in your own stories, be putting up your own stories. Like I said, stories are a way for you to basically show your day-to-day. People care what you're doing through the day. Why? I don't know. I care what a lot of random people are doing through the day. Why? I don't know. I like to watch them. They could literally be eating a bowl of cereal. I'll sit there and watch it. I don't know why humans like to watch other humans do random things, but we do. Okay. You basically have your own little reality TV show on stories. Okay. That's what stories is. And so people get to know you. They feel like they're hanging out with you. They get to trust you, all of that in your stories. So make sure that you're engaged in your stories. For example, when I get off this call, I'm probably going to take a screenshot of me doing this and talk about how I love, work meetings with my team. It's just as simple as like, I love my team, whatever. And I'll put that in stories. When I go downstairs, I might go and start getting ready for, or no, I'm going for a walk with my family. So after that, just post a little clip of me going for a walk with my family. It's just the random everyday stuff people want to know. You can also talk, okay? If something weird happened, talk about it. I had a really weird interaction with one of my neighbors last year. It was very bizarre and it made me feel weird. And it was, I don't know, just funny. But I got on stories and I literally talked for like 15 minutes on my stories about this interaction with my neighbor. Y'all, I had 240 people not just watch it, comment or react to the stories that I told about my neighbor and how weird it was. It was the dumbest story, to be very honest with you, but people sat and listened to it and they thought it was the best thing. And I still have people that come to me and be like, oh my gosh, I watched that story about that neighbor that one time. And I'm like, you did? Why? But you know what? People love that stuff. They love it. And so you can get on and just talk about the big mess your kids just made and like, oh my gosh, y'all, like, I just need to vent for a second. I don't know. Like you can do whatever you want on stories and people will love it. They will eat it up and they will comment on it. Use a lot of polls in your stories. Okay. So if you don't know how to do a poll, we're going to cover all this later. So one time when I can screen share and everything, we're going to go through all of that. But using polls in your stories, ask your sponsor, they can help you and show you how to do this. That gets people engaged. Asking questions gets people engaged. Yeah, my mom said my laundry issues. One day I literally posted a massive pile of laundry I had to do and had so much engagement on it. And it's like basically just showed that we're a slob and don't do laundry for 3 weeks, you know? So stories are public. So when you are posting them, they are being shown to everybody who's on your feed. So you generally aren't going to see, you won't really necessarily see people's stories unless you actually have them as a friend. So it's public, I guess, to your friends, but it's not just going to like a private. I know you can set them to a private small group, at least on Instagram, I think on Facebook too, but they're just regular public for your newsfeed to see. But like I said, as a general rule, people won't see your stories unless they're your friend, unless they're going to your Facebook and then finding your profile and clicking on it. So clicking on the story option. Yes, you can choose in your privacy settings what you want that to look like. So, but your stories are where you're going to get a ton of engagement. Okay. If you are struggling to expand your network or find new people, this is the way to go. All right. You can put up things about, put up something. So, okay, sorry, let me backtrack. We do have a group called One Plexus Instagram Stories on Facebook. That's a great place to pull Plexus stories. Okay. Now, when you are doing stories, you want to start with something that's you. Okay. You don't want them to click on your story and it's immediately Plexus. Okay. You always want it to be you that's starting it. So you're right before you do some type of Plexus story, do something about you, something about your kids, whatever, and then add your Plexus story. And then at 24 hours, those stories will expire. Okay. So make sure you're putting up something up right before that story, just because eventually that 24 hours is going to fall off and then your Plexus story will be the first thing. So if you just do something first, then it'll all kind of fall off at the same time. Does that make sense? But at least they're seeing something from you personally before they're seeing Plexus. And then I try to keep my Plexus stories very, very short. I've seen people that do 10, 12, 15 slides and I'm like, I don't even want to watch this. And I love Plexus and it's just so long, you know? So keep it short, keep it sweet, and adding some fun music and some animation and then adding polls to that is great. Now, what you can do is, what I like to do is I like to go and see who viewed all of those stories. Okay, I'll start there. If I see that my friend Whitney that I talked about viewed all 5 stories, that means that she was interested in something. She wasn't just swiping past it to go to the next story. There was something in her that made her watch all 5 stories. So the people at the end that have watched all 5 stories, I'll go through those people if I've never talked to them before and be, oh my gosh, Whitney, I saw that you saw my stories. Thank you so much for giving me support and loving on that a little bit. You know, have you heard of gut health before? Have you like looked into it at all, or you know what? And you could start those conversations. That was an extremely cold message example, but you know what I'm saying? Like you could actually be talking to those people a little bit more authentically because there's something that made them watch all 5 slides. So you can reach out to them right away. Obviously, if they vote in your poll, that's an easy, you know, oh my gosh, thanks for voting on the poll in my stories. I'd love to get you more information. Side note, when you're doing a poll in stories, never make an answer negative. Okay. So when you when you say something like, you want in on, or I know people like when we got sales, you want in on this deal? People will be like, no. And then, yes, don't do that. Don't do a no. We don't want to know. Okay. You want, yes, I'm ready. Or I have more questions or something like that. Don't ever do a no answer. Don't ever do like a negative answer. Okay. To be very honest with you, you're going to have people that just click it just because they just want to be turds. And that's really discouraging for you. And it does nothing for you, to be very honest. If they're not interested, they won't click it. Okay. So make them like, yes, I'm ready to go. I have more questions, or sign me up, need more info, something like that to kind of balance it out. And then make both of them kind of a positive interaction moving forward when it comes to your stories. So you want to be getting engagement on that poll, but you don't want engagement that's going to discourage you. As far as their, and yes, I'm reading Kristen's thing right now, be mindful of the placement of it. Because as they're clicking through, I try to move my poll kind of over a little bit. A lot of them are going to be clicking through. Some people do this as a strategy where they put the poll right where people will click, yes, as they're clicking through the stories. I don't love to do that because I want genuine interaction. I want genuine, yes, I'm ready. Okay. I don't want to waste my time messaging 85 people because they clicked yes on my story when it was just an accident. I want genuine. So be mindful of where you're placing that poll so that people aren't just hitting it on their way through, because that's just a waste of your time. And that's going to just be a discouraging mess anyways. So where if you have it more to the left where people are holding it, if you have it more to the left and up, then you're actually going to get more genuine interaction on those. And you can be excited when people click on it because that means that it was probably a genuine click. So make sure that you're mindful of the placement of that. There's slide bars too. So like when you're doing a gut health post or whatever, you can do a slide bar on how interested they are. So there's all these different ways that you can get them engaged and get them interested and get into their inbox. When anyone comments on a story or votes on a poll or whatever, it automatically goes to the inbox. And that's why I love the stories, because stories are connected to the inbox. It's not going to be in a public space. When you comment on stories, it just goes into their inbox. It's not in a public space. It keeps everything private between you and the person that put up the story and vice versa. So that's one reason I love stories, is because it keeps it very almost, I hesitate to use the word, but almost intimate between y'all, because then it's just you and them talking, and you can be genuine and you can be authentic. They can be genuine and authentic, and you can start your conversations from there. Getting them plugged in and keeping them engaged. There's other ways to do this too. So if you are in conversation with somebody and it gets stuck, one thing you can do is get them engaged in our gut health and happiness group. I think all of you are in the gut health and happiness and beyond. If you're not, let your sponsor know and they can get you in there. That is a place where you can get people engaged in our community and in something that is health focused and product focused. It's kind of an easy way to do that. So when you're talking to them, and if they're like, no, I'm not really interested right now in anything like that, thank you so much though, girl, that is totally fine. Do you mind if I add you to a book? Do you mind if I add you to a group that will actually help me to give you more information about it? You can totally just be a fly on the wall. You don't have to do anything. Literally, I'm just going to add you to it. No one will see, no one will know. But every once in a while, if I see something that makes me think of you, I'd love to just tag you in it and just give you some more information. And then when you're ready, you let me know. But I just want to be able to, get some more information in your hands. And then they can, yeah, sure, whatever. Add them to Gut Health and Happiness, and then write their names down and make a point to go in there every couple weeks and tag them and then message, right? We're not doing any just tagging randomly. Okay. So we do have something called ATM that there's, it's a verbiage that they're using with corporate. ATM is add, tag, message. Okay. You want to complete the whole ATM process. So add them to the group, tag them in something, message them that you've tagged them in something. Anytime you tag somebody in anything, message them that you've tagged them in that. And then add something to the tag as well. So I'm trying to see, I want to catch up on any questions that we might have in here. All right, so I don't want to get too far ahead because we do have an entire quarter to cover all this stuff, but it's kind of hard because all that stuff goes together. It's all engagement. It's all keeping them plugged in. It's basically expanding your network, getting them engaged, you getting engaged into their stuff, starting those conversations, get everything in the inbox as much as you can. Okay. Does anyone have questions or comments or anything? I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.